Hi everyone. So today's video is not going to be a tutorial video. However, I do have a couple of those in the works. What I'm going to be showing instead is this project I worked on recently. It's a personal project and I recently published a case study on it. I also shared the files recently as well. So I'm going to show you how to get access to the file, whether it's the free file or the full version which is paid. So if you see the value in it, you can go ahead and purchase the full file. But otherwise, the free version is also there for you to be able to explore and get access to all the designs as well, and also a couple of mockups which I included inside of the file. So there were 3D mockups that I made in Spline, and I show you how to download the mockups, how to import them into Spline, and also edit them and even create your own mockups as well. But for the full file, it actually has a lot more. It has the entire mobile app design from start to finish. It has the case study templates, so you can actually go inside of it, edit the case study template in case you want to use it for your own personal projects as well. I also added Figma mockups to the full version, and also another project as well, a scrapped idea for the original product, so you can see everything inside of this file. I went ahead to add even more. There's the brand assets there, which include the logos and icons and everything. Then there's also the style guide. There's 3D illustrations. There's also my junk folder. So I think I always include junk folder because I think it's very, very valuable, as there were a couple of ideas that you can find there that were scrapped from the original design. So without much ado, let's actually get into the case study itself. It's a very, very simple product. However, what I tried to do was to bring gamification into the whole dating experience rather. So what happens is that the product itself, fundamentally, it's a dating app meant to incorporate or meant to foster my online matchmaking. However, like I said, I try to bring gamifications in the form of virtual gifts. Some products, for example, Bumble, I think they use super likes. But for this particular one, I try to bring virtual gifts into it. So the experience for users, by the way, I also worked on the branding as well. So the work started from the branding. I designed, even though I'm not really the greatest logo designer that there's out there, I still did my best to design a logo that I thought would fit nicely for the brand. So you can see for the iconography here, you can see it looks like a heart, but when you turn it on its side, it's actually a bee, so Ballpitt. So yeah, that's just by the wayside. So let's just quickly scroll. These are the onboarding screens. Then the create account and also account setup process as well. Then here's where the gamification and also the whole idea of monetization comes in, because one of the fundamental things I wanted to do for this project is that, compared to other personal projects, which I don't really consider how the product is going to work in real life in terms of how it's going to profit the company, for this particular one, I tried to factor it into this product and I tried to make it work. So I'm just going to show you all of that and you will get to understand where I am coming from. So the first things first, for other dating apps, if you're familiar with dating apps, you should know that you're familiar with this particular experience here, where you swipe left or swipe right to show interest or not to show interest. So you are shown different users, and if you're interested in them, you can swipe right to show interest, or you can swipe left to show that you're not interested. So once you do that, on the other person's end, they're just going to see that, okay, this person is interested in you. Are you interested in them as well? So they get to also swipe left or right, and depending on what they swipe, you guys might get matched. So that's the whole experience. That's still the same experience here. This has the same experience as well. However, the unique thing about this one is that you can choose not to do all of that, to jump that line instead. In fact, what we're prompting users to do, or what I'm trying to prompt users to do for this particular product, is to get them to feel like any account is accessible to them. So you can easily chat this person. If I see someone I like, instead of having to swipe and wait for the person, I can just choose to press chat just to start talking to them instantly. However, that's where the whole gamification and also monetization feature comes into play. So once I press chat, the first thing they see is like a modal that tells them to send a gift to unlock chat. So that way the user gets to open the gift store, which is a feature of the product, and then they see all the gifts that we have on display to send. So basically we're prompting them to send a gift to the person. If you don't want to go the route of swiping left and then waiting, you can just choose to skip that line by sending a gift. So all these gifts, they are gifts that have been curated by the platform to cater to users as well. So this user, for example, this person here, on their end, they've been able to set that these are the gifts that they like when they were creating their accounts. However, while they were setting all these gifts, one thing I made sure not to add was not to add amounts to it. So the amount is only seen when another user wants to send a gift to someone. That's when they get to see the amount. And that's where, like I said, monetization comes into play. So to buy all these virtual currencies, obviously they have to pay the platform to get virtual currencies to spend on virtual gifts as well. So when one of these gifts is sent to the user, the gift is sent and then the chat is unlocked, and then you can get to chat with the person without having to do the whole swiping left or swiping right. So that way there's a sort of gamification element to it, and there's also benefits to the platform as well, because monetization comes into play at that point. So that's basically the fun factor about this particular product. So as you scroll, you get to see more parts of the product. So there's the all chats, or rather there's a chat section where you get to see all the chats. Another thing I failed to mention was setting things that I also put in place as well to cater for edge cases. So for example, when you send a gift to someone, the gift has to be accepted by the person. If the gift is not accepted after a particular time, the money that you spent on the gift gets refunded to your account, the account of the sender. So that's how it works. Or if maybe, for example, you choose not to stop chatting with someone, you're no longer interested in them, maybe like on match with them, the money is going to be refunded back to the virtual currency, is probably going to be refunded back to your account. So those are some of the things I have in place to account for some edge cases. So that's basically that. So you have the chat section. Here's the chat section, how it looks like. And here you can see how it looks like when you send a gift to someone and you're viewing it without opening the chat. So you can see there's a small timer here. So this timer, this is green. You can see the more it keeps reducing, the less time the person has to accept this gift. So if the person does not accept the gift before the timer runs out, like I said, you get unmatched with the person, and then the money gets refunded back to your account. The virtual currency gets refunded back to your virtual account. So that's how it works. So on the chat, in the chat interface, you get the empty state. This is how it looks when you're trying to chat with someone, or the chat view. So you have the input field, you have the gifts, because at any point in time, I want to make it easy, because again, the store is the main selling point of the app. People can get to go to the gift store, buy things for people that they like, and then send them gifts. So that's really the whole appeal. So it's there on standby. Then there's input box. There's also this plus button, which opens more functionalities that allows people send voice notes, send images, and also send videos as well. So if I just start typing in the input box, this is how it's going to look. The plus is going to change into the send button. I got inspiration from Discord, from WhatsApp, and a couple of other products I've used myself. So it changes to this button here. And then if I were to choose, I want to send a voice note, the voice note starts recording, and this is how it looks. I can always cancel, go back to this view, or I can press send, which also still goes back to this view. And then the voice note is sent. So you can see how it looks when a text is sent, when audio file is sent, or when images or videos are sent. So that's how the whole thing works. So I also designed other pages. Another thing I also wanted to mention was that all the product, I made sure to put effort into writing out all the copy. So there's no dummy copy in this product. It's actually ready to be shipped. Like as it is, it's ready for development as it is. So if you choose to get the full file, choose to purchase the full file, you have access to be able to build the entire thing out as a real product. I'm totally on board with that. So you can go ahead and build it out as a real product, and also include all the features into your product as well. So yeah, that's it. So on the profile settings, the user gets to be able to edit their interests, their about, and also their photos as well. Then on the advanced settings, this is where they can get to set the gifts that they prefer to be gifted. So for a user, this is how the profile page looks like. Profile settings, coin balance, they can preview their profile, privacy policy, logout, delete account. Those are the features on the profile page. One sec. So on the so this is how the coin balance looks. You can get to see the coin balance here, and this is where, like I said, we get to monetize the product. People can get to buy virtual coins, and then use virtual coins to send gives to other users. So you can see privacy policy. Then this is how the preview page looks like. You get to see how people see your profile. So log out, delete accounts, and so on and so forth. So like I said, there was another product I originally started with, which was the creator product itself. I call it the creator product, which I eventually archived. But it was meant to be like, this was the original idea. It was meant to be like a streaming, not a streaming platform per se, but then think of Twitch. But Twitch for where users get to chat with other people, and then, or where creators get to chat with other people, and they are paid for their time. So that was the original idea. But then I even had this feature where I designed AI personas. I called them AI personas, where people could create like AI personas of themselves or for themselves, and then the AI personas will get to chat or interact with other users, and then there will just be that like back and forth communication between them. So that was the idea I had before, but it wasn't really sticking the landing for me. So I just had to just shelve it and work on something that I felt fostered more human and more genuine connection, which was the dating app I worked on. So, but some of the features, which was, for example, the sending of gifts in, which was an original part of this original product, I got to use it inside of the dating app itself. So I think it's a win-win at the end of the day. So yeah, you have the earnings feature on the creator app, and you get the opportunity to earn. So these are the illustrations as well I used. Some of them I made from scratch. Some of them I made in Spline. Some of them most of them really, I downloaded online as well. So you get to have access to all the file if you get the full copy. However, like I said, on the free version, if you can't get the full copy, that's totally fine. On the free version, you actually have a lot of the screens for the dating app itself. But it's on the full version that you get to have access to the creator app itself, the Figma mockups, the case study, templates, and literally everything else, the brand assets. So like I said, if you do get the full version, you also have access to go ahead and build this as a real product. I totally endorse it. So once you open the link to the free version, it's going to take you to Figma Community, and you get this option. This is how it's going to look. So just press this button, preview button. I don't know why it's like this, but press the preview button and you get access to the file. It's going to be duplicated to your account. But if you press buy, it's going to take you to go and get the full version. So the full version is on Gumroad, so you can always purchase it here if you see the value in it. So like I said, I also added tutorials to how to get all the Spline mockups. Even on the free file, you can click on it. It's going to take you to where to get all the Spline mockups, and I show you how to import it into Spline and how to use it. So that's that for that particular product. I hope you find it interesting. I hope you find it useful, and I hope you have fun exploring and just digging into it. So for my next video, I'm going to be working on a tutorial to show you how to make more cool stuff really. Back to creative website design. So this is something I made using Spline and Figma. I'm going to show you how to incorporate Spline and Figma to create dynamic looking UI like this. So that's going to be the next video, which I should do maybe next week or during the weekend or thereabout. So that's all. Have fun with the file, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, on Twitter, wherever really. I'm always available to respond to messages and help out as best I can. So have fun, and then I'll see you in the next video. Bye.